If you enjoy the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, film enthusiasts and avid followers of the moving picture magic, it's that time of year again. As the days grow shorter and the cinematic landscape unfolds, we here at the Moving Picture Review channel are thrilled to embark on the exhilarating journey of curating and rating the best films of 2023. Now, 2023 was a wonderful year for some fantastic movies. From gripping dramas to heartwarming comedies, mind-bending sci-fi to soul-stirring documentaries, the cinematic realm has once again transported us to places we could only dream of and introduced us to characters who left an undeniable mark upon our hearts. This year we'll be rating the top 10 films of the year. Now remember, the film had to be released in the year 2023, and all opinions are subjective and merely just an opinion. Please comment on the comment section and rate your top 10 films of the year. Firstly, though, we have to give the award for the worst film of 2023. And now for some dishonorable mentions. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. After Christopher Robin abandons them for college, Pooh and Piglet embark on a bloody rampage as they search for a new source of food. Look, the mere concept of a film being made about the famous, beloved children's character being turned into horror is, well, frankly, just downright distasteful. Other notable films in this category would have to be Children of the Corn, a remake of course, Life Upside Down starring Bob Odenkirk, 80 for Brady, starring Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno and Sally Field, Fast X, and with the opinion being, when will this film franchise ever come to an end? Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre, a disappointing turnout from the usually excellent Guy Ritchie, and Magic Mike's Last Dance, a sad ending to a series that promised so much. But for us here at the Moving Picture Review channel, the worst film of 2023 goes to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, of course, technically, this isn't a terrible film, but it was an incredibly disappointing film from what was once the most hottest franchise of movies ever made, namely the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This film really felt like it was just made for the sake of it. The cast looked bored and disinterested, and were literally just going through the motions. The MCU unfortunately has lost its way terribly. Even the latest movie released, Marvel's, is a far cry from the heights reached with the likes of movies like Captain America: Civil War and The Avengers: Infinity War. If this is what Phase 5 looks like, then God save us from Phases 6, 7 and 8. The story was baffling and illogical, and the recasting of Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang was a big mistake, as she just comes across as annoying and unlikable. Now, even though this has nothing to do with the actual film, the fact that now its leading antagonist, played here by Jonathan Majors, who is being set up as the new MCU's main villain, was arrested on assault, strangulation and harassment charges, just sort of leaves the film with a sour note. All in all, a very disappointing film from the once great MCU. But now it's time for some honourable mentions. Firstly, there's a film called Air. It's an American biographical sports drama film directed by Ben Affleck and stars Matt Damon, and tells the true events about the origin of the Air Jordan, a basketball shoe line of which a Nike employee seeks to strike a business deal with a rookie player, namely Michael Jordan. I found this to be a really excellent film, with some fantastic performances. Ben Affleck has always been a sort of conflicting director throughout his career. He can produce absolute rubbish, but then he can find really good films as well, and this one is one of those. Matt Damon also turns out a charming performance here, in a film that really grabs your attention. Another fantastic film for 2023 was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Based on Judy Blume's classic and groundbreaking novel, this frank and down-to-earth movie is such a relatable, coming-of-age film. A film that I really enjoyed this year was namely Tetris, which stars Taron Egerton as Hank Rogers, and the film is based on the true events around the race to license and patent the video game Tetris from Russia in the late 1980s during the Cold War. It's a really fun, entertaining film and well worth a watch. Let's turn our attention towards the top 10 films of 2023. At number 10, we have John Wick 4. I personally have never been a huge fan of the John Wick series, but number 4 was really classy. It was well filmed, well choreographed of course, which is what you expect from a John Wick film, but the story was very deep, and Keanu Reeves, although not the greatest actor in cinema history, really does bring John Wick to life perfectly. He understands the character 100%. The cinematography was also spellbinding, and the visual effects really appealing on the eye. This was a bigger, badder, longer and bolder film, and I thought a real fitting end, if you will, to the John Wick series. In at number 9 is the third and final film in the series, namely Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've always been a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The films were fun, never took themselves too seriously, and you could always tell the cast were having a lot of fun playing the roles. I felt this film was a perfect send-off to this fantastic series, which was definitely a highlight within the MCU's phenomenal film library, even more so a highlight, particularly with what the MCU have produced of late. With its over-the-top CGI, spectacular storyline, but just good downright fun, brought forth by the ever-fantastic James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 really goes out with a bang. In at number 8 is The Killer, an action thriller film directed by the fantastic David Fincher, of course starring the phenomenal Michael Fassbender. This is truly an excellent film, tightly paced, well edited, with a cool, calculating performance from the lead star Michael Fassbender, a man we haven't seen on our screens in some 4 years. Definitely a film worth a watch. At number 7 is a film called Blackberry, a 2023 Canadian biographical comedy drama film. The film tells the extraordinary rise and spectacular fall of the once most used phone in the world, namely the BlackBerry. For a very little known film, I thought this was actually quite superb. It was a fascinating insight to this fantastic company, and I remember using the phone myself in the mid-2000s, and it was quite strange the way the phone just died and disappeared. This really provides you with a fantastic insight into this most strangest of stories. In at number 6 is the biggest grossing film of 2023, namely Barbie, a fantasy comedy film directed by the wonderful Greta Gerwig, which of course stars the fantastic Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. This film was really a phenomena, and it took the world by storm. Albeit a little bit sexist in some ways, I still loved the premise and its originality, and of course it's incredibly funny at times as well, and it well deserves its spot on any top 10 list of 2023. Number 5. May December is an American drama film directed by Todd Haynes, starring the phenomenal Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. Portman plays an actress who travels to Georgia to meet and study the life of the controversial woman played by Moore, she's set to play in a film. This is a brilliant, fantastic film, insightful, if not downright disturbing at times. In at number 4 is Killers of the Flower Moon, epic western crime drama film directed by the fantastic Martin Scorsese and starring the phenomenal Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. As you would expect with the other two, the acting is absolutely fantastic, but it's Lily Gladstone who really blew me away in this film. Set in the 1920s Oklahoma, it focuses on a series of murders and the Assange members from relations to the Assange Nation after oil was discovered on tribal land. This is a very long but gripping and phenomenal film. I had to watch it over 4 parts as it was just too long and intense to concentrate on, but this is a powerful piece of cinema and a highly recommended film. In at number 3. Flora and Son is a 2023 musical comedy drama film written and directed by John Carney and of course stars the fantastic Eve Usen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I absolutely loved this film from start to finish. It's a film you just can't help but fall in love with. With its fantastic story, phenomenal music and very relatable premise, this is a film definitely worth watching over and over again. At number 2 it is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is a 2023 American animated superhero film, and it is absolutely groundbreaking, and the artistry is absolutely beyond this world. This is a visual masterpiece, and it presents a truly fantastic story to boot, something that the MCU could learn from in terms of presenting Spider-Man in a more down-to-earth and realistic portrayal, capturing the true essence of the Miles Morales version of the character. But for me, it's its visual appeal that makes this film stand out. And in at number 1 is the film we consider the best of 2023, namely Oppenheimer. This is an epic biographical thriller film written and directed by the masterful Christopher Nolan. This truly is a masterpiece and one of Christopher Nolan's finest work since 2008's Dark Knight. Cillian Murphy turns out a tour de force performance, but the rest of the cast are on point as well. This is truly a phenomenal film. Its attention to detail is outstanding, and in many ways the film acts as sort of a warning to the world that we live in today. This is without a doubt a true masterpiece and a film worth watching time and time again, and therefore it is the best film of 2023.